So, pranam everyone, and welcome to Tarot with Mansi. So, I get asked this question a lot that should I do tarot during the periods or not? And really, there is no one answer. You have to look into what are your beliefs, um, what are your attitudes, and really what is happening with your body. So you will have to take all these into consideration, but I will share my take on this. So, again, it will also depend on how sensitive you are, how intuitive you are. Are you more logical? Are you more intuitive? What is that ratio? And, really how you feel yourself during the period. So, all these factors come into making your decision, and it is a very individual decision. So, let's go on. So, one of the things that happens when you are having your periods is that you become very porous. Your boundaries are actually getting very thin, and things can enter you also very easily, and they can leave you also easily. So there is this porousness that happens, and which is why many cultures women spend time alone because they are very susceptible to outside things. And on the other hand, the woman is also extremely psychic, is extremely intuitive during these times compared to normal. Now let us take a look at what is happening inside our body. And what is happening inside our body is our body got ready for some creation, a physical creation, and everything, all the materials were gathered for to enable that, and it didn't quite happen. The egg didn't quite fertilize, and now it is time for that whole assembly to be shed off. That all that preparation, it is time to let it go and start anew. So it is so. And even if you feel the energy during the periods, it is going down. It is going in the direction of gravity. This is a great time for letting go, along with uh, the lining, the epithelial lining. It is the time to let go of things in your life that have either already outlived their use. They are no longer necessary. Like, let's say you went through a crisis and you had to become very defense. Maybe at that point you had to fight a lot to defend yourself, but now you no longer need to do it. You do not need to defend yourself everywhere in life. um, there are many routines you had which are no longer necessary. Maybe it was a high stress time and you were not able to do certain things, but now you can. So it's like, but you have that routine that, okay, I didn't do that. So it's a really good time to let go. It is a really good time for emotional let go. If you have held any trauma for a long time, if you have held any any kind of emotion, whether it be a emotion of lack of self-esteem, insecurity, wanting to cling on to some things, fear, or it could be, maybe even superiority, maybe ego, that, hey, I'm better, I know better in this than everyone else. Hey, I can't really listen because, and we never say that we don't listen. Like, we just say that I know what's happening in this situation, so people should listen to me. So, since we are talking about tarot, I wanted to show you two of the most relevant cards in tarot that pertain to our periods and what is the guidance that we can best use. So, one of the cards is Letting Go, and it is from the Osho Zen Tarot. And you can see the little drop of water, which is at the edge of this lotus leaf. And this is the Eight of Cups, or the Eight of Lotuses in Sacred India Tarot. And it is also, in most of the tarot decks, it will be the Eight of Cups. So the journey from Cups has gone, and you have come to Eight. You've come, Eight is a very karmic number, it has come there. Now, even though the lotus leaf might be small, it's all that you know, and you know that. You spent 1 to 7 uh, of cups, knowing that. So you know that now you are at this edge, and if you let go, then you don't know what's going to happen, right? It is an entirely new world. So what should you do? Should you go for it? So maybe even if you've seen the water at the edge, it like trembles, right? It is like almost trembling. So what is the choice you're going to make? And the only way you can make that choice, because you don't know what happens after you let go, you don't know what happens. So the only choice you can make, or the only way you can let go, is if you trust. And let's see what happens when this drop lets go. Yeah. And then you see it becomes a part of something far bigger than it. And that action of dropping causes ripples. So whatever you have let go in your life during this time, and it's very natural, very sahaj to let go during this time, that will create a ripple in all the other areas of life. So whether it be letting go of an old wound, of an old trauma, of an old hurt, old sadness, old jealousy, old ego issue, um, old injustice that was done for you, you let go of that, and that effect is going to ripple out. Maybe it is regret, maybe it is guilt. All these are emotions, all these represent the cup suit, all these represent water that is bound. Because all the hurt and all these emotions, they are bound in you. They are, if you feel hurt, let's say some friend hurt you or betrayed you, and then you might feel it in your heart. But it is not everywhere in your body, it is somewhere very specifically that you're feeling. And when you let go, you become part of the whole. It becomes cosmic, and there is this freedom, there is this liberation. And another card which really speaks to this time, and which is the highest guidance I can think of, is Ma Kali, or the death card. And Ma Kali, wow. Ma Kali really uproots, when you're at this edge of letting go. I feel that at this moment of transition, at this gate, there is no one who can guide us better than Ma Kali, because she'll get the darkness out, and there are so many, and it's like her essence is like death of all our old wounds. There is you have been living that old wound, but if you can really let go, her presence is such that that whole karmic chain ends, that whole karmic loop breaks, because you have let go of it. And in this death there is a rebirth. It is the death of an old cycle. Maybe you were going in this one particular loop, in your relationship, in your job, and the emotion was the one that was holding you back. It was making you cling to those old ways of relationship, that old job, that old way of living life. And Ma Kali helps you release that, and that cycle ends. That there's a death of that cycle, and a new cycle, a higher cycle happens. And why is it a higher cycle? Because you have let go of that. You've let go of what was holding you back, and now you go into a higher circle. And so really, this is the possibility of femininity in this particular time, that every month, every 28 days or so, you get a chance to be reborn again. And it is already happening at a physical level. But if you are conscious, you can bring it to your mental level. You can inquire into it. You can feel it. And in that feeling, if you keep observing, you go to the vibrational state. And literally, at a vibrational state, you can be born again. And isn't that a blessing? Isn't that a blessing? So I conclude my thoughts on whether or not to use tarot during periods. I would definitely recommend that do synthesis, do sadhana, with these cards and just let go. Thank you.